Hi boys and girls, happy Thursday. So there's lots of fun things that we have planned for today. The first thing is a pattern block activity. So on the front page you should have the Lorax for your activities, and also in your pack you will have a bunch of little shapes that I colored and laminated and cut all for you. So what you're going to do is you are going to take your shapes and you are going to fill them in your Lorax. So I tried to match the colors on the side. There will be no orange squares though. You don't need any orange squares for the Lorax. So you are coloring in his beard with these shapes. So one shape would go here, and then you would use your blue diamonds to fit them here, and your green triangles to fit them here. And when you're all done, when they're all on your Lorax beard, we're going to go over here and you're going to count how many shapes did you use. So for the orange one, that's an easy one. You would just put a 0 there because you didn't use any orange squares. But how many other shapes did you use? How many green triangles did you use? How many orange diamonds did you use? And then throughout this little pack that you have, there is other shapes for you to do. So this is a turtle. So again, you will take your shapes and you will fill in all of the squares you have. None of them need the orange square. That's why you do not have any orange squares. You have a bunny or a rabbit. You can take all your shapes and fill in your rabbit. So that's why they're laminated and cut for you and in a baggie so you can reuse them as many times as you want. You also have a duck. I don't have any big ones left. But you're filling in your duck with your shapes. And a cat, and a dog. And this is the fun one that you can do over and over and over again, as much as you want, because the booklet isn't going anywhere and neither are your shapes. They're laminated and cut for you. So that is a fun shape activity for you to do, to learn your shapes, the colors, the names, and fit them within the shape, count them, how many do you have. So that's the first activity for today. The second activity is a fun name game. So my name, and you'll write it in your little caterpillar. You're going to write it in a 10 frame. How many letters do you have in your name? And a picture of something that starts with your name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my daughter's name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write her name. So this is good name practice. And remember, your first letter starts with a capital and then all your other letters are lowercase. So B-L-A-K-E. So that's not my name, that's my daughter's name. And you're writing it in a 10 frame. So a 10 frame means that there are 10 blocks here. I filled in one row on the top, so that means I have 5 letters in my name, not 10. So I'm going to write the number 5 here. And draw a picture of something that starts with the letter B. Wow. What's something that starts with the letter B? What about a ball? We all know Mrs. Stang cannot draw for the life of her. That's where Mrs. Janae comes in. Ball. Basketball. Basketball starts with a B for Blake. So that's what you're supposed to do for your name activity. So you write your name on the top. You write it in your 10 frame. How many letters do you have in your name? And draw a picture of an object that starts with your letter of your name. And I would love to see what you guys come up with for your pictures. There's lots of fun names that we have in our class. So that is a fun activity to do. Give me back my dad. One day, Cheryl and her father decided to go ice fishing. They got on the snowmobile, put all their stuff in the sled on the back, and went bouncing over bumps across lakes until they came to a very good place to fish. This place, said Cheryl's father, is the best place to fish in the whole world. But the fish are smart. You've got to be really smart to catch these fish. Phew, said Cheryl, I'm smarter than any fish. So her father got out an ice drill and drilled an enormous hole. They chopped the ice and drilled some more, and then they were done. Whoa, said Cheryl's father, really thick ice. Now we can fish. He got out a hook and line and bait and said to Cheryl, you fish down this hole, but be very careful because these fish are smart. Phooey, said Cheryl, I'm smarter than any fish. She jigged her line up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, and said, I want to catch fish. Be patient, said her dad. So Cheryl jigged her line up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, and said, I want to catch a fish. Then up out of the hole came a candy bar with a line on it. Look at that, said Cheryl. It's a candy bar. Her father yelled, don't touch that. But Cheryl grabbed the candy bar and was pulled right down underneath the ice. Cheryl's father yelled down the hole, give me back my baby. A big fish stuck his head out of the water and said, we caught this kid fair and square. You can't have her back. Grrr, said Cheryl's father. Cheryl's father got an idea. He put a very small piece of bait on a line and jigged it up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And all of a sudden he pulled a very small baby fish. This big fish stuck its head out of the water and said, give me back my baby. Well, said Cheryl's father, I'll give you back your baby if you will give me back my baby. Grrr, said the fish. Cheryl's father tossed the little fish back and Cheryl came flying up out of the hole. She said, brr, it's cold. And right away she started turning into an icicle. Her father picked her up and ran her to shore and got a fire going at the Labrador tent. Soon Cheryl was warm and dry like a piece of toast. Now, said her father, we're going back out there. Don't pick up anything the fish throw out of the hole. These are smart fish. Right, said Cheryl. They went back out and Cheryl jigged her line up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, and said, I want to catch a fish. A candy bar with a line on it came up out of the hole. Oh no, said Cheryl, I'm not that dumb. She jigged her line up and down, up and down, up and down, and said, I want to catch a fish. Up came a bag of popcorn with a line on it. Cheryl said, oh no, I'm not that dumb. She jigged her line up and down, up and down, up and down, and said, I want to catch a fish. Then up came a television. Whoa, said Cheryl, that looks pretty nice, but I'm not that dumb. Cheryl jigged her line up and down, up and down, up and down, and said, I want to catch a fish. She waited some more, and up came a $50,000 bill with a line on it. Her father said, $50,000? He grabbed it and pulled it under the ice. Grr, said Cheryl. She yelled down the hole, give me back my daddy. The baby fish stuck its head out of the water and said, hey, we caught him fair and square, and you can't have him back. Cheryl got an idea. She put a huge piece of bait on the line and jigged it up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down and said, I've got to catch a daddy fish. All of a sudden, a big fish grabbed the bait and Cheryl pulled him in. The baby fish stuck its head out of the water and said, give me back my daddy. Well, said Cheryl, I'll give you back your daddy if you give me back my daddy. Grr, said the baby fish. Cheryl threw the daddy fish back into the water and Cheryl's father came flying out of the hole. He said, brr, it's cold, and started turning into an icicle. Cheryl pulled her father into the tent and put wood into the stove till he was warm and dry like a piece of toast. Then Cheryl said, Daddy, why did you grab that money? I thought you were smarter than a fish. I am smarter than a fish, said her dad, and I know that you are smarter than any fish, and I knew you would get me out, and I still have the money. Right, said Cheryl, and they went back to town and bought Cheryl her very own snowmobile. The end. All I have for you today, boys and girls. I hope you really enjoyed the Robert Munch book, and I hope you have so much fun with your shape activity and your name activity for today. And always look on Facebook for some Facebook fun activities as well as your monthly pack. And I will see you tomorrow. We will also be doing Brown Bear this weekend or tomorrow, so keep that in mind.